Madonna. A name that's a legend. A symbol that needs no introduction. The undisputed queen of pop, revolutionary and provocative. She rewrote the rules of show business through scandal, success, and constant reinvention. But behind the facade of a global icon lies a woman with a will of steel, demanding, sharp, and absolutely unwilling to cut anyone slack. With her, you either shine or burn. Today, I'll take you through the lesser-known side of her career, made of tension, rivalry, and complicated relationships with other artists. 3 episodes where things didn't go smoothly, and where Madonna's name left a mark, anything but peacefully. Let's start with the most iconic, Lady Gaga. When Gaga exploded onto the music scene, many immediately dubbed her the new Madonna. But Madonna never liked that comparison. In fact, it annoyed her from the very beginning. Why? Because in her eyes, Gaga wasn't bringing anything new to the table. She was simply recycling her image, her style, even her musical ideas. The breaking point came in 2011, when Gaga released Born This Way, a track that, to many fans and critics, sounded remarkably similar to Express Yourself, one of Madonna's biggest hits from 1989. In a 2012 interview, Madonna addressed the resemblance with a cutting remark that became iconic. "It feels reductive." And when the journalist asked her what she meant, she coldly replied, "Look it up in the dictionary." But it didn't stop there. Madonna became even more irritated when Gaga publicly emphasized her classical music training and her ability to play piano, almost as if trying to portray herself as the more complete artist. Reportedly, while watching one of those interviews during rehearsals for her MDNA tour, Madonna snapped, "Playing the piano doesn't make you a revolutionary. I changed culture without hiding behind classical diplomas." And during that very tour, Madonna made a move only she could pull off. She performed Express Yourself live on stage. But halfway through, the song morphed into Born This Way, highlighting the similarities. Immediately after, she sang She's Not Me, a track whose chorus repeats the message that someone might imitate you, but they'll never be you. It was a moment designed to send a crystal-clear message. You can try to copy me, but I'll always be the original. Even years later, the tension between them never really faded. When Gaga started gaining attention as an actress and earned praise for A Star Is Born, Madonna, according to people who attended a Golden Globes after-party, allegedly said with biting sarcasm, "Acting in one decent film doesn't make you Meryl Streep. Some of us have built careers lasting decades without needing Hollywood's approval." Now let's move on to Janet Jackson. Another complex story, not as widely talked about as the one with Gaga, but just as deep. In the early 90s, Madonna and Janet were both at the top of the pop game, both symbols of female empowerment and sexual liberation. But while Madonna always pushed the envelope, aiming to shock and provoke, Janet had a more measured, subtle approach, yet still powerful. And Madonna couldn't stand it. According to several insiders, she always saw Janet as a true rival. When Janet released her album, Janet, in 1993, breaking away from the good girl image and receiving critical acclaim, Madonna was reportedly furious. "Why are they applauding her for something I got crucified for 10 years ago?" she allegedly said during a studio session. What really got under her skin, though, was the fact that Janet was a Jackson. She was born into music, had it all handed to her. Madonna reportedly said during a meeting for her Bedtime Stories album, "Try climbing your way up from the gutters of New York. Then come talk to me." A telling moment? At the 1995 Grammys, Madonna apparently passed Janet backstage without even acknowledging her, and then made a snide remark about industry nepotism loud enough for her to hear. And finally, we come to Elton John, the piano king with whom Madonna has had one of the most publicly explosive and bitter feuds in music history. Elton and Madonna never really got along. It's as if they represented two opposing visions of pop music. Elton, the purist who believes in live performance and authenticity. Madonna, the total performer who thrives on visual impact, message, and cultural disruption. Their first direct clash happened in 2004 when Elton publicly slammed Madonna at the Q Awards, saying, "Best live act, she lip-syncs her way through everything." From that moment, it was open war.
Madonna, best fucking live act. Fuck off. Since when has lip syncing been live? Sorry about that, but I think everyone who lip syncs in public on stage when you pay like 75 quid to see them should be shot. Thank you very much.
Madonna, according to those who worked with her at the time, was furious. During rehearsals for the Confessions tour, she reportedly said, "Being good at the piano doesn't make you a cultural revolutionary. I changed how people think about sex, power, identity. And what has he done? Wears funny glasses and sings ballads." The feud escalated even further in 2012, when both were nominated for Golden Globes. Before the event, Elton's husband wrote on social media that Madonna had no chance of winning. But she did, and in her acceptance speech, she threw a not-so-subtle jab at those who doubt my musical abilities. And in 2019, when asked what she thought of Elton's farewell tour, her response was ice cold. Some people know how to bow out gracefully, and some don't. Some of us prefer to evolve, rather than go on nostalgia tours. These three stories reveal a side of Madonna that rarely gets told. Fiercely competitive, unapologetically sharp, and brutally authentic. She doesn't sugarcoat, she doesn't wear masks. If she doesn't like something, she'll let you know. And maybe it's exactly that raw honesty, combined with her magnetic charisma, that's made her a timeless icon. You may not always agree with her, but one thing's for sure: Madonna never holds back, on stage or in life. What do you think about Madonna? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more untold stories of music legends.